Welcome, everyone. I'm very happy to be for a next season of MyACT presenting from inside the Palais at Cannes Lions Festival. And I'm super proud also to have incredible people around the table joining. Sophie.
Yes, hi.
Sophie, happy to see you again. I didn't see you very much this year.
No, not at all. Since we're sisters, we don't see each other.
And then we have, of course, Thomas Kolster. Every year you're there with us to present MyACT. Today you are a guest. Damon, you are P&G Chief Communication Officer. Sorry. Welcome.
Thank you.
First time here. And then we have Frank here, Frank Starling, DEI and Impact Alliance.
Bonjour.
And then we have Samuel that gonna be joined by Toussef from the Purpose Hive. And
thanks for having me.
And
Bonjour,
we're very
bonjour.
happy to have you. I just want to say that for us, ACT Responsible, it's our 25th anniversary this year. 20.
Celebration.
25th exhibition.
Cheers. Well
Yeah.
done. Congratulations.
And so we are, very proud to have this Impact Hub. And I'm just going to turn to you, Frank, because we worked a lot this year together to pull that together. I just want to say, tell us what's the intention, why the Lion are just stepping in and really blowing and amplifying the work we're doing.
Well, let me start by thanking you both for your partnership of 25 years, because the work that you've done during that period has been incredible, not just to center the conversation on sustainability and impact here at Cannes Lions, but to always hold the flag continuously. And I know as partners, we've had to do more, and I'm really pleased to be able to say over the last year, we've worked so closely together to bring to life the Lions Impact Hub in 2026. So please give them another round of applause. The ACT Responsible sisters. So for Cannes Lions, so last year we launched Lions Impact, and the purpose of Lions Impact was really to look at and consolidate how we are working with global communities to drive impact across the globe. And it started in this space where so many conversations have been had on this topic of sustainability and impact. We're really proud to be able to partner with Purpose Hive, with Procter Gamble on that mission, because we're at a point where we're in a decade of disruption, right? Many communities right now are really looking to brands to fill the gap on this topic of impact, and we're really pleased to be able to join the journey on that.
And so just before passing the mic to Sophie, I just want to say that it has been a great partnership, and we're trying in the hub to use as sustainable material as we can. Right. So the walls are cardboard walls. We try to upcycle everything, and this is a little present that I'm going to give you all. This is nice. The banner we had last year, where we had this mandala asking people to color it and write on it and say why.
Amazing.
And so this is now some little cards holder.
I love it.
So
I
you
love
can
that.
have one.
Thank you so much.
Merci beaucoup. This is actually going to get used, and it's beautiful.
That's fantastic.
And so this
I will cherish that.
Yeah, I will do.
And my wallet is a bit battered, so that's perfect. I'll swap it out, I think.
Wow.
And so this year, after we have this MyACT, we have another banner that is on the pillar behind here.
I've seen that.
And there is a pledge that I would love all participants and contributors to read and sign.
Okay.
And
great.
we will upcycle it for next year.
Awesome.
So, what about the exhibition this year?
Well, the exhibition is amazing. Again, we have work from all over the world, 102 campaigns, amazing campaigns that are really putting us human in the center and really asking us as citizen of this world to step up and do things. Please come and vote in the hub. It's 4 themes and just look at the campaign, whatever you think is the best or touch you or say something to you, please come and vote for your preferred campaign. We'll have a little celebration on the beach on Thursday for those campaigns who are the most liked. And I would also want to talk about yesterday, we had the privilege to have Phil Thomas coming to discover the hub before everyone. So I asked him some small question about the hub and what he thinks about the next 25 years.
So happy to see you here again. I am so pleased that every year you come here. And since now 25 years, ACT has been in the Alliance. And thanks to you, we've grown bigger and bigger. What have you seen in those 25 years that have changed in terms of responsibility and impact?
Well, it's funny because my first Lions was 21 years ago, and the first thing I ever went into was your area. Oh, wow. That was the first thing I ever saw at Lions in 2006. And it's amazing, you were so far ahead of the conversations at that time. You were really the only people discussing it. And I think the story has been one of it becoming more and more and more important to so many organizations, but also going through some real pressure and difficulty with the things that are happening in the world right now. But the one thing that has been constant is that you guys have been at Cannes Lions telling people how important all of this is, and we're very grateful for that.
And we are very grateful for you guys because we need a megaphone like the Lions to tell that, our industry can do so much better.
Yeah.
So now we've built the Impact Hub. And how do you feel like the next 25 years will be like, and how would you want to see it, change or evolve, or do you have any ideas?
Well, as you know, at the moment, this world that you represent is under pressure. It's under political pressure, it's under social pressure, it's under financial pressure. But I think this is a phase that will change, and I think we will come through that, and sustainability and the kind of things that you talk about every year will become even more important and embedded in every single organization, not just within advertising, right, but every organization. It's just a matter of time before that happens.
Yeah, we have to be very patient.
Patient.
And it will arrive, right?
Yes, I definitely will arrive.
Okay, thank you so much for coming and for opening this exhibition that will open tomorrow morning, whenever the Lions open at 9 o'clock, I think.
9 o'clock tomorrow morning, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So as we were having this conversation, he said something, the more and more people are joining the conversation. And traditionally, we worked only with agencies, NGOs, and this year we are opening it bigger and to brands. So now I'm turning to you, Damon, because I know you guys are really doing a lot in your company around the world, in your different brands around the world to really, change things towards a better future.
Yeah, we serve billions of consumers around the world, 5 billion consumers every day, nearly 100 brands. But at the core of that, it's really about understanding people and serving them better than anyone else. And I think the insight that drives a lot of the work in this space for us is that we just don't see people as someone who does laundry detergent or someone who changes the diaper. You have to understand people at a deeper human level in the fullness of their humanity. And when you do that, you really get to understand that they want to have an impact. They want to make a positive difference, not different than their normal experiences, but as part of their normal experiences. So each of the stories that we're telling through the Impact Hub, whether that is having to do with Pampers and the work that they do to support premature babies all around the world, whether that is Always and the work that they are doing to keep girls in school, whether it is stepping in with a variety of our products in times of disaster, those things build trust, they build relationship, and at the end of the day, they build business. And I think far too often, purpose is seen as an end to itself, when purpose is a way that you can build business, that you can build trust, and you can serve your consumers, all of them, all of your stakeholders in society at the same time. So it's really the integration of all of that into the brand building ecosystem at P&G that I think helps us sustain this work.
And so that's exactly this. And then the other thing that is really, I find change over the years is that us as consumers, we want to be part of the solution. And not only now, the brands, the world is, accepting us as individual consumer to do it, and you are, pushing us to really do better. So thank you for doing this. I have another question. Why did you join the hub this year? When we talked to you, and you didn't hesitate and said, "Of course."
It's what we do every day. Right? It's part of the stories that we tell. And again, when you look at where the impact happens, to your last point, it happens in the everyday behavior of consumers. So part of our job is to make sure that we're innovating in a way that consumers can be responsible. If you look at a product, whether it's Dawn or Fairy, or whether it's Tide or Ariel, the fact that consumers can get outstanding cleaning performance, save energy, save water by having a product that performs in that manner, that's good business, and it's good for the environment. So again, highlighting those stories and normalizing the conversation. I think in the times that we're in, one of the questions that we get is, are companies pulling back from doing good in the world? And I don't think so, right? We're certainly not. We're doing good, but we're integrating that, being a force for growth, and then because of that growth, making sure that we do good.
And this, on this question, I completely agree with you both on the fact that humans, like consumer, are taking part in the conversation. But what we're trying to do in the hub, and having a P&G with all those, brands being there, saying it is important to our company for all those reasons, but also business reason, is important to say to the industry, because the industry needs to understand that they have super clients who has understood their markets, and they have to tell the story of these industry. And I'm turning to Youssef and Samuel. We had so many discussions about that, about the fact that, of course, consumer wants to have brands that are representing their values, but why our industry is not being a more strong megaphone for those brands?
Well, I introduced myself. I used to be a reformed marketer, but now I'm a marketing reformer because I believe business should serve humanity and not vice versa. And as a marketer, we have the fortune and be put in a position to actually have a positive impact, but also drive the business side of it as well. So it's both purpose and profit. It's integrating it in a way that you truly understand the humanity of your audiences. So I'm one of those people who perhaps prefers to call people and not consumers, and actually build relationships and really understand them and treat them with respect and dignity and honor. And you'll find an abundant way of actually meeting their needs, and they will reward you with attention, with time, with money. So my journey through my career has taken me to, I'm actually an ex-Procter Gamble, and I'm so inspired by some of the work that they did, Widen the Screen, which really inspired me and led me to being a co-founder and co-CEO at Purpose Hive. And I'd love to introduce Youssef Mirza, also co-CEO of Purpose Hive.
Hello, everybody. Bonjour, tout le monde. Since Sam said, he's in terms of how he presents and stuff, I consider myself a brand therapist. So that's why we get along very well, very complementary. And I also think what's happening is I feel that the brand of purpose needs to be really more in the forefront, in the sense that it's a powerful force. And I think a lot of times the brand of purpose, maybe people feel is too soft, or that, we're not taking as much emphasis in terms of the business aspect, in terms of its robustness. And so therefore we're not going to include the purpose part, while it's actually the opposite, that the purpose actually fuels the business. So I think that we have a brand issue, but the more that we have people like Damon to talk about it and actually say, no, it's actually a different type of strategy now that we're putting into place. And before, we didn't have as much yes, we have social media since the past 10 years, but people are becoming so much more vocal, and it's so much more easier to say, well, no, this is what people care about. So I think we're in a space where it's a very interesting time to actually shift our previous notion of what purpose can only be.
So we will have really interesting conversation in the hub this week. The debriefs that you've put together and a very nice talk this afternoon. Do you want to tell us a bit more?
Yeah, so the concept of the impact debriefs is there's some great speakers. There's Susan Credle, there's Marcus Collins and Monique Nelson, who are all industry leaders and doing great work. And what we wanted to do is create a space where we could have candid conversations in a way that talks about culture, advertising, marketing, business, and positive impact all collectively, and the work that they've done, and also their inspirational stories of the work that they've done, but also why they care so much, and the positive future that they also see. I think in this industry, there may be some who are a bit cynical and a bit jaded, and we just got to get through this quarter. But actually, if you can spend time being inspired and understand the stories, not only of the people, but the work that is coming out, showcases that it's the truth, it's true and it's possible. And to Damon's point, that it's understanding the humanity that is core to driving the business forward and driving the momentum behind the sales, the creative, the advertising, and the revenue. And so for the work that Purpose Hive does, we love to support brands, organizations, and people on that journey who are curious about purpose, but see that the core linkage to driving growth. It's about good growth. So we talk about good growth where they're inextricably linked, because doing good and driving business performance are mutually inclusive.
So Susan is coming to the hub in a few minutes. So so the debrief is also a way to beat her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the conversation with Susan is going to be...
So that's Susan Credle, by the way.
Susan Credle.
We
Susan Credle.
We know who it is. But
yes, and she's the former I think, creative leader at FCB. And what's inspiring about her work is the journey that she's had throughout the industry, the great work she's done across multiple brands, but also the passion she has for people, the passion she has for developing great solutions for brands and business, and the passion for the art of advertising and creativity. It's just oozing within her soul. So that's going to be an exciting conversation that I'm having this morning. I'm having a conversation with Marcus Collins, and then I think, Tusef, you're speaking with Monique?
Monique Nelson, who is the executive chair of UWG. She's also a powerhouse, so that's going to be happening on Thursday. And then I'm also going to be doing a talk later today, which is going to be around AI and humanness. And really, I know there's going to be a lot of AI talk at Cannes, but I really wanted to provide something from a different angle. Instead of showing all the time how AI does things better than us, is actually to showcase what are the things that we actually do better than AI, and find the right dynamic between both, and actually look at certain aspects that we already hold that maybe we're not using as much in business, but now it's time to actually elevate those elements that are more human. For example, our intuitiveness, our gut, our critical thinking, and really elevating how we can work with AI in certain tasks, roles, and industry in a way that is much more of a system that helps AI, but also the human. And the purpose part of that is really about human flourishing, but the human flourishing is also going to help you grow.
Yeah.
And I'm going to jump on this because I think we need humans. We wouldn't have this conversation if we were not just as us individual here and you meeting in purpose, in real, sorry. And I'm going to turn to you, Thomas. I'm, my complice, the voice of MyACT. You are our voice since so many years because we are not so good at doing all this.
That's not true.
And I want to, first I want to ask you, what are you doing here this year in Cannes?
Yeah. That's a big question. No, first of all, I really want to reiterate what Frank said and Philip. I mean, for me, it's just so heartwarming to see the dedication, the passion that you put into this, and Hervé has put into this, in driving these difficult conversations forward in so many years. I mean, and for Phil to share that my first ACT experience was actually as a young creative. I think I was around 22 when I actually won an ACT award, and I remember coming to the Palais and sort of seeing the exhibition. And so for me, being able to be part of that is important. And I think that's why we have this hub. By the end of the day, we need to invite more people into the conversation. I stumbled across it by chance. I was probably led into by an award show, but I think the difficulty we're facing right now, and why I also want to thank you guys at P&G for supporting these conversations, is that we haven't been very good at creating a inclusive movement where people really feel, I want to be part of this. And I think that's the challenge, that we unfortunately have seen that brands have turned away, politicians have turned away, we've seen people, some citizens have turned away, and I think that is one of the things that I think is pivotal for the Hub this year, is to bridge this divide. It's not them against us, it's not purpose against people who lack purpose. I think that's the framing we need to get over this year, and one of the things I'm the most excited about is actually Open House for Good, because that is really saying the Palais, we're an industry that is so insular. We tend to like to talk to ourselves, we tend to like to award ourselves. And what's great about Open House for Good, it's for everyone. It's open the doors, 2 hours, for a lot of people to come in and not just hear what work can do, but actually experience it by themselves firsthand. And I think, for me, if we cut away all the theory, if we cut away all the, purpose works, it drives growth, when I see great advertising, I can feel it. And the fact is that when I see work like Always Like a Girl, each and every time I see that piece of work, I start crying. It's just so powerful. And that's what we forget, right? It's emotions that drive this stuff. It's emotion that drives the effectiveness. So Open House for Good for everyone, 2 to 4 on Wednesday, your opportunity to come in, to debate, to challenge us, and maybe to remind ourselves that in a democracy, in a challenging time, it's okay to disagree.
It's okay to talk about our disagreements.
Exactly.
And
we must.
And
I think we met on a disagreement.
Yes, we did.
That's actually true, right?
We met a big disagreement.
I mean, you want to tell the story? Shall I tell the story? You tell. So I was slightly agitated and slightly, and I came storming across, like complaining, "Why are you doing this? And why are you working with so and so?" This was 3 cans ago, and Isa was so graceful, so gracious. She listened. She said, "Okay, what are you going to do?" And I said, "Wait, what?" So I kind of brought the energy, and she said, "Okay, what are you going to do?" And this is what we're going to do together. And so how we can co-create, we can collaborate, and we can have difficult conversations. We can disagree, but then find a way to collaborate together. And so I'm such a huge fan of Act Responsible and this Lions Impact Hub. And congratulations on 25 years of doing the work, because we are standing on the shoulders of giants. And you've paved the way for Purpose Hive to participate with the Procter Gambles of this world, and with multiple other brands to actually do good that drives the business. So it's always about growth and the impact of that growth, changing lives, inspiring people, serving more people, and raising the bar for us all to thrive and flourish. I think that's why I'm so inspired by what you do. Seriously, you inspire us every day, myself and Tusef, to be better, to do more, and to participate more. And so you're kind of stuck with us all week, because we love this space, and we're inviting more and more people in, because this is about creativity, it's about advertising, and it's about the power to change lives for good, but also for commercial success and gain. And these things aren't mutually exclusive, and I think that's powerful. So Open House for Good, I'll be there. The tributes, I'll be there. I'll be here all week. We'll be here all week.
I do think this point on pushing through tension is an important point for the work that we're talking about here at Cannes this week. Take all of the purpose stuff out. Any great piece of advertising that touches your heart, as you've talked, pushes through a moment of tension. If you've been in an edit or in the meeting when you say something isn't hitting or different people react, one of the natural human instincts is to run past that and to get over it. But it's actually in that tension that's when the greatness happens. That's when you connect in with the human insight. That's when, as a brand, you have to look in the mirror and really understand your why. And then when you hit that why, to say, this is how we serve consumers. This is how we make them better. This is how we make our society better. So if I were giving advice to a junior marketer or a junior communications person, when you're in this work, right? It is too easy and too comfortable to say, everyone doesn't agree, so let me just pass back on that one, right? This is about leaning into that tension, deeply understanding why that tension exists, and then really finding the human connection and insight that allows you to do that. So whether it's the always like a girl work, whether it's the widen the screen work, all of that work had a moment of tension where you had a diverse set of people around the room. Someone didn't get it. Someone said, why did you do that way? And that's when the magic happens.
I think you remind me of one key thing that I think we need to talk about this year, and I think which almost is in the word act responsible, and it comes down to bravery for me. And I think that's what we lack right now in advertising. I think, unfortunately, we are in an industry where we tend to automate more. Things are becoming easier with different types of tools, AI, etc. And great communication was never supposed to be easy. It was supposed to be challenging. We were supposed to sort of pushing that rock up the mountain, and it was hard and it was difficult. But ultimately, I think it demands bravery, and leadership demands bravery. And I think that's why we right now, unfortunately, are seeing some leaders, both in government and in business, shying away because it's easier not to lead. It's easier not to be brave. And so if we could do one takeaway maybe from this week is for more of us to be brave to be part of the conversation, and brave to disagree.
I just wanted to add one thing to that conversation is, yes, there is bravery, and at the same time, if we can have organizations that are open to creating safe spaces, because I think a lot of people have ideas, but they're too scared to say it. You have to start somewhere, so I agree with bravery. And at the same time is, how do we cultivate a space where you can say, you can go left when everybody's going right, and literally to present that in the conversation, and actually invite people who are actually thinking in a different way. Because I think sometimes it's just too hard to push through, and so people just stay with themselves.
Well, I agree with you, and I agree this is a safe space to disagree. So please, bring anybody who disagree or who don't know how and how to do it here, and we'll listen, and we'll try to, find a way.
Have the conversation.
And do the pivotal.
Yeah.
Yes.
And look at us now. I came a bit hot and fire and steamy, but
so thank you so much,
all
of you, for being there and being part of
the
first MyACT.
And have a beautiful can. Come around on Wednesday, 2 to 4. Be there. And let's
begin.
Let's start.
Thank you so much. Thanks again.
Thank you.